there's real power in having a project, something that you can work on and something that really gets you going, a passion, and something that you can build, something that you can grow through, and purely for yourself, just purely for yourself, even without sharing any of the outcomes. But having a project for yourself is something truly great. It's good for the soul. So many times I go to bed with a smile on my face because of having a project on the go. I've spent a lot of my time making music over the years and enjoying creating songs, and my favourite part in that process is when the song's only a few hours old, and it's like no one's heard it yet, and the idea of that piece of music didn't exist just a few hours ago or in the morning when I woke up blows my mind a bit, that we have the power just to do that, to get up and create something or spend our time creating something. And however busy you are, however you choose to spend your time, we all have that creative energy, and I think we should be putting that into some sort of project, whatever it is for you, but some sort of project that allows us to tap into it and do it, because it's good for the soul. As I said, having those moments where I've only heard the piece of music and no one else even knows it exists, but I do, and going to bed having that in mind brings a certain excitement and definitely a smile to my face falling asleep, and I think that's good for the soul. And it's not even like a sense of being proud about it or anything like that, but more so just a buzz that I've birthed something and brought something to life that, as I said, didn't exist when I woke up that morning. And I absolutely love that. We were born with the ability to create unique ideas, unique perspectives, created to create. I love it. Yeah, I feel so many of us don't use it enough and tap into it enough. And you might think, oh, I'm not much of a creative, but we are. We just need to find the things that really get us going, and our passions and our outlet to explore it. And I think the key is to not have expectation on the outcome, to remove all judgment and create from that place. I think is where we should be coming from, not thinking about career or who's going to see it, but purely doing it for yourself. And that's where I think the gold happens. That's when you find the flow, and also probably have the most impactful outcome for others when, if they did see it or do see it, it's probably in the times where you're being truly authentic, coming from a truthful place, authentic self, and coming from your heart and creating with no expectation and no pressure on the outcome, where those pieces will probably have the most impact for others. And as I said, that's probably because it's going to be the most truthful and authentic. So that's the key, getting out the way of yourself and just creating from that place purely for yourself. And as I said, go to bed with a smile on your face, having created something, having birthed something and brought something to life that you find interested, that you're passionate about. And that's an amazing thing to do. And for us to have the ability to spend our time doing that, it's just a choice. If we choose to do it, we all have the ability. So it's just a choice if we choose to put energy there and tap into that creative energy. But it's definitely good for the soul. It definitely feeds us in a way and fuels us in a way that brings a certain contentment, no matter of the outcome. I truly believe that, and that's where the removing the judgment comes from. What's good, what's bad. It's not about that. It's about creating, about bringing something to life, and what that does. And it's a good place for the mind to be, I feel, when we've spent time being creative and you have those ideas and things to think about the process, and having a project, something that you can keep working on over maybe years and years and years, developing your craft in something that you're interested in. Is good. It's a good thing for us to be doing and to have in the background at least. Not necessarily for a career or anything like that, but do it for yourself first. And that's all we have to really focus on. Is there might come a point where you do share it, and then you can let go of it in that. I never really go back and listen to music I've made. I'm sort of, my mind's on the next one. That's where the excitement is. So just by creating, there'll come a point where maybe you do share it and move on and let it land where it's going to land. That's another powerful thing as well. You never know where something's going to land. I'll say that now as well. It's like we should, I say should, but just by sharing, even if you feel like it's not valuable or worth sharing, or it's a bit scary to share, it's good to just share and move on. Let it go, move on, be on to the next thing. All you got to decide then is what you want to create next and what's exciting for you to put energy into next. But you never know where it's going to land by sharing something. I've had this realization, and it played out in a certain way for me, where it really took me surprise of that. I never expected music of mine to land in certain places and stories that come back to me that completely took me by surprise. And it just went to show me that it just showed me that you never know where it's landed. In this day and age, with the power of the internet and everything else, sometimes you can share something and maybe not get much feedback, or it's sort of that project comes and goes, and it can be years down the line where it sort of the feedback loop comes back round, and it can take you by surprise how much of an impact something did have when you felt like or feel like it didn't or wouldn't. And that just goes to show the power in sharing, regardless of your thoughts. And of course, work on your craft. There's mastering it as well. For certain artists, for certain people, they're going to want to really hone in on and know when they're ready to share. But what you can learn from just sharing along the way, and also what can surprise you just by sharing along the way, not everything's instant. You know, it doesn't come down to likes or money and everything else. You know, it can be really have a big impact in a certain place in the world, and you never anticipated that or thought that it would have the power to do that. But by sharing it, you didn't know where it was going to land. Yet it lands somewhere, or it can land somewhere, and that's a real reason to just create and share and let go. And as I said, without the judgment, you can then just be moving on to the next thing, the next idea, the next project, and follow that excitement of just focusing on all that's in your control is what you choose to create next, what you choose to spend your creative energy on next, and the rest of it's out of your hands. I have it with guitar too. I've played guitar since a young age, and I rarely learn other people's songs these days. I'd probably be a better guitarist if I did learn other people's songs, but I don't really learn other people's songs. Yeah, every time I pick up the guitar, I play something that I've never played before, either like a certain sequence or progression, or even if it's the chords that I've played hundreds of times, I'll play them in a rhythm that I've never played before, and it takes me by surprise, and it really is a gift that just keeps on giving. And for me, I call that like my song of the day, because I never know what it's going to be, and it always surprises me that something comes that I've never played before. It kind of actually blows my mind a bit, like how you just like pick up something, and each time something new comes, something comes, the song of the day comes, and I love it. I really, really do. And I'm grateful that I have that, and that we have that as humans, that we can spend our time doing things, and the creativity just keeps on going, and keeps on coming as well. The ideas come. I always say, don't wait for an idea, either with a project or creating. Just create, because the ideas come. I wouldn't have started, finished, or definitely not released a fraction of the music that I have done over the years if I'd waited for an idea. Just by starting, putting the energy there, through the love of it for yourself, sooner or later a spark will come that really brings all the ideas and all the direction you need to sort of finish something. But yeah, guitar's a real one for that. For me, it is, and I love that I can just pick up the guitar with nothing in mind, no expectation of what I'm going to play and what it's going to be and what it's going to be for, yet something comes, and I love that. It brings a smile to my face, slightly blows my mind a bit, but we've all got the ability to have that in whatever medium it is for us, you know, and I encourage that we have these projects on the go, these like little passion projects and things that we can put our energy into, because they really do brighten up your day and put your mind in a place where it's healthy to be having these nice little things that, even if they're just for you, as I said, even when no one's heard them or seen them or knows about them, but you do, and your soul does, and it knows it's birthed something that day that didn't exist when you woke up in that morning. And the fact that we can do that time and time again is great. Let's tap into this creativity more, just for fun, just for the love of it, just for ourselves, without the expectation, without the judgment, and go to bed with a smile on our face, because it truly is a gift. It really, really is. I love ya. Thank you.